Hi guys, and welcome to week 6. We're getting into the real juice of it. We're really going from tentative to radiant explorers, and we're really looking at how we do this. So again, keeping this a little bit short so we can really jump into it. But we are really looking at how we can break out of our cages and embrace that dichotomy, that friction of how we want excitement and new things and things to be really unknowable, and at the same time we want the security and the control and the safety that's actually given to us by the golden cage. And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately there is no actual control within the golden cage or outside of it. It doesn't matter where you are. It's an illusion of control that we love to have within the golden cage, and that's what keeps us so compliant in there. That's why the freedom thieves are so strong. That's why Stockholm in your brain, Stockholm Syndrome in your brain actually is a fantastic way of looking at it, because you're actually playing to wanting to pull out more from what can't be given. You're and they're promising it, and they can't do it. That's why you can do everything right and check all the boxes and still have horrible things happen to you, and you can have the opposite happen too and do nothing right and have everything positive happen to you. And most of us fall somewhere in the middle where we're not doing things right, or we're doing some things right and some things wrong. And it's part of life. Tragedy will find you, and the golden cage is not going to protect you. Your freedom thieves aren't going to protect you. So you really need to kind of embrace this living with this friction of security versus insecurity. And Esther Perel does a really great job of this actually in her books on relationships, looking at this whole how we want newness and excitement, and at the same time we want security and to know that the person that we're with has our back and will only be with us and loves us completely. And I think this is something that's very human, and it's something we need to play with and look at and realize that we can't always know this. And this is what I really love about this particular module, because we're looking at 6.1 is going to be meeting with the goddess. And this is really where you're kind of broken open and broken apart. This is where the old fairy tales are coming in. This is where Nana was on her meat hook, and it's like, ow, this is where your parts are just spilling out your pain and your agony, and you're looking at this and you're going, is this who I am I vibrating pain? But you're not. In fact, it's the complete opposite. This is where you're finding out where your truth is and who you are. Too often in our society we're actually taught to run from this, because this is actually where the juice is. This is where your strength comes from. This is where you get to become the woman you are. But our society really loves innocence, and it loves to feminize to the point of infantile, really, even more than feminine. It's making women into girls. That's what we want. We don't want to be women, we want to be girls. We want to have that cuteness and that safety, and that's not true. A woman is someone who knows the truth, and the truth hurts, but to be able to stand with that truth and still walk forward with joy and passion in your life, that's a feat that's worthy of being a human being. It's very easy to be happy and joyful before you start realizing that the world, and people find this out at different times. I'm not trying to say that all little children are, innocent. We all lose our innocence at different stages. But it's much easier to be a happy, passionate person before you lose your innocence. It's after losing your innocence to keep that passion and joy in your life that's much more difficult. And that's what we're going to be looking at, how to do this. And module 6.2 is, we talk about not just sparking joy, but actually knowing your why. There's a great article I linked to in there. But finding the source of your joy, knowing what you want, and also knowing when, okay, is this really joy though, or is this me again shining up my golden cage? And then finally, 6.3 is, what does ambition look like when you let go of ego? And this is huge. This is not about resistance. This is not about selling yourself short. This is very much looking at, what does happiness look for me when I remove the drive for other people's definition of success for me. So it's a great module. I hope you enjoy. Dig in.